First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Stephen Radford. I'm 50 years old, and now I'll introduce you to my paralegal. This is my paralegal. He's done a lot better job than the others that come before him. I'll bring him back in for more advice and interpretation later on. We get down to the crux of the business right now, and that is the allegations that are made here. This videotape will be going out to most wanted crime stoppers for these very dangerous criminals that the police need to get off the street. The charges for these people are attempted murder, aggravated assault causing GBH. The names of these people are detectives Peter Ronald Diaz, Donald Brown, Simon James Thomas, Ian Mather, Mitchell John Croak, Peter Towns, Peter John Cooper, Martin Bosquali, Perry Bryant, and Gillian Harvey. There's a criminal case, case 1. They're the allegations that I made. The brief of that evidence is already been compiled. It's been since 2005, when the matter was brought before the civil court, where none of this evidence had a chance to get heard. Had to represent myself for 3 years until a pro bono solicitor came in, reformulated it, crashed and burned at the Supreme Court. So now this civil matter has become a criminal matter. A brief of evidence will be put together and delivered to the Attorney General through the proper channels. The second matter is against corrective services. And before I say this, to Mr. Ron Woodham, there should be a Royal Commission shoved right up where the sun don't shine. The charges and allegations that I make against corrective services are this: medical malpractice, negligence, reckless endangerment of life, misdiagnoses, given incorrect medication for a prolonged period of time, duty of care, and mental torture. They're the charges and allegations that I bring against corrective services. Have all the evidence to back that up. The third matter is when the police officers I just mentioned took me to maximum security jail, where I was refused entry because of the injuries and the condition I was in, and had to be hospitalised. A video camera was taken, photographs were taken, a video was taken of all the injuries. Now, Sydney Internal Affairs and between Newcastle Internal Affairs, between corrective services, between the police officers involved, that video and that photograph, those were stolen and never found. They were subpoenaed and they were just disappeared. That's the bottom line to that. So Internal Affairs, those 10 detectives I mentioned, and corrective services, those 3, all criminal cases. The next matters are, we go into the civil civil matter, and that would be against Eddie Newman's solicitors and a barrister by the name of John Berwick, in which he hired. I'll make the allegations against them of reformulating my case, not following my instructions. They reformulated this civil case without my instructions, behind my back, and crashed and burned that in the Supreme Court. Now, because of my mental state at the time, because of my naivety towards the civil process, even though I represented myself for the first 3 years because no one would touch this case, before this case of his reformulated hit the Supreme Court, I sent 3 fax letters to all parties, Crown, Court, solicitors, telling them that the matter is not to be heard, it's not to be deliberated, it's to go back to the District Court under the original heading, and the solicitor is to be sacked. Well, because I never filed those 3 faxed letters, they didn't apply. So Eddie Newman's case that he reformulated without my instructions went to the Supreme Court and crashed and burned. End of story. Well, that matter now, that was before the court from 2005 to 2011, that matter now is turned into a criminal matter. The charges have already been read out. The brief of evidence has already been put together. It just has never been heard or aired in court. And that's the opportunity that I'm looking for, to get that heard in court. So that's what I accuse Eddie Newman lawyers of. The 5th matter is, out of the end result of that civil court case, I received a court cost bill, even though it was done on a pro bono basis. I received this bill from the Crown Solicitor's Office, 2011. It says here to pay $260 plus $10,000, $270,000 within 28 days. I'm a disability support pension, and I've been trying to contact these people for the last 2 years to get this bill paid off under state debt recovery. So basically what's happened is this, because these people have not allowed this setup to happen and allowed me to pay this bill off at $20 a week for the next 300 years, whatever, this has been hanging over my head. Life has been put on hold. So I say to these people now, get it together, get the paperwork together, because it's been over 2 years now since I received that bill. Now, most people that get a bill from the New South Wales government, they want them to pay it. These people have got my life on hold with this bill. That's the other matter I wanted to clear up. The next matter is, and I assume that these next incidents happen, they're all civil matters, happen because of me taking those 10 detectives through the civil court, that these following incidents happened. Police harassment and assault for the last 8 years, up until 2013, from 2005 to 2013. The following detectives that I accuse of these allegations: case 1 in 2010, I accused Detective Adam Garthorpe of assault, GBH, trespass against person, deprived me of my liberty without any probable cause and without any charges brought against myself, and just drove off. The next case is against police officer Scott Dominich, badge number 003. I accuse him of assault. Also, he had his hands down my pants, so that would be classed as sexual assault. That was witnessed by my treating psychologist straight after I left his office. That was in 2012. Same thing, no probable cause, no charges against myself. So that's what I accuse Mr. Scott Dominich of Newcastle Police. The next matter, 2013 of this year, I accused Detective Savage of Waratah Police Station of assault with no probable cause and no charges against myself. Many witnesses to this, they put it down to mistaken identity and drive off. Now the main thing I need, which I'm unable to obtain any decent representation. I have no money, so I can't get private. So when it comes down to people like myself that have no money in the private sector, you can't get any representation. As far as criminal cases go, legal aid, it's their policy that they will not give you representation against police, corrective services and so on. So I've tried through the New South Wales Law Society, underlining the word New South Wales because they're the state that I'm suing, the employees of the civil servants, whether you can get a person that's got the integrity to go along with the evidence, and that's all that matters in all these cases. It doesn't matter who or what I am. All that matters in court is the evidence and the facts that has already been gathered and is there to be put together and given to the Attorney General and taken it from there. One second. I just have to refer to my paralegal here. As you can see, I have to keep his identity confidential. He could get himself into trouble, but he just like to ask the federal government why is the people in Canberra's rap sheet bigger and longer than my rap sheet. He says he speaks Japanese, so I've got to translate for him. He says that there's pedophiles there, sex offenders, fraudsters, and just basically pigs with their snouts in a trough down there. And me and my little black friend here, and due to my near-death experiences with the police and with corrective services, he'd also like to add to why the Black Deaths in Custody issue hasn't been addressed after a Royal Commission with millions of dollars spent 20 years ago. Why that the rate of deaths in custody are through the roof as of today. That's what he'd like to say, if he could talk English, but unfortunately he can't talk English, so I've got to translate for him. Is that all you get to say? Okay. You can be excused. You've done very well. So in saying all that, me and my paralegal here expect the same civil rights, human rights that everyone else in this country deserve. I'm sure I'm not the only one out there that's experienced this sort of problem. But one way or another, we're going to get to the bottom of this in court, the proper way, with the brief of evidence. I'm just going over and making sure I haven't forgotten this, because I'm not going to do this video again. Right, what's that? 1 second. Also, he would like to add that he'd like a Royal Commission shoved right up Ron Wooden's ass to get to the bottom of all his issues. Is that all? I think that's all he's got to say for himself, yeah. You want to have a goodbye? You've done well. You've done well, mate. You've done really well. Okay. So I'll just go over them really quickly. The allegations of attempted murder, aggravated assault causing GBH apply to Peter Ronald Diaz, Donald Brown, Simon James Thomas, Ian Mather, Mitchell John Croak, Peter Towns, Peter John Cooper, Martin Bosquali, Perry Bryant and Gillian Harvey. As far as corrective services go, it's medical negligence, reckless endangerment of life, misdiagnoses, given the incorrect medication for a prolonged period of time, duty of care, and mental torture. Internal affairs, as far as they go, we accuse them of destroying video and photographic evidence that was subpoenaed to court. We accuse them of destroying that evidence, stealing and destroying it from a maximum security jail where I was refused entry because of all the injuries sustained on an arrest. Now, let me make that clear. When that arrest was made because I hurt no one but myself. I was using heroin, I had an addiction, and for that arrest I was arrested with a total of 1 gram of heroin, sentenced to 6 years for that 1 gram of heroin, 6 for the 4.5. In the 2000 year law book it was made a precedent under the name of Stephen Radford, 6 years with the 4.5 bottom. End up doing just on 5 years for that 1 gram of heroin. Thought I would explain that. It's only fair to give all the facts in the matter for both parties. Paralegal is quietly snoring away there. He's done a much better job than Mr. Eddie Newman, Mr. John Berwick, Patricia White and Associates. So I suppose we could wrap this up and make this a wrap. See you guys in court. We'll get to the bottom of it. Now there's only one other thing my paralegal's just reminded me of bringing up. He had to go and have a saucer of milk and have a bit of a tea break, but he's come up with a couple of things we forgot, so he'd like to say that now. Now, he's told me that this is one of the most corrupt governments that he's ever come across in Australia, down in Canberra. He doesn't understand that why this corrupt government acts the way it does, and how can you expect the civil servants that work under these government to act in the correct manner and cross the line all the time. He also wanted to tell me that he doesn't understand why the Premier of this state, Mr. Barry O'Toole, Barry O'Fool, Barry O'Farrell, whatever his name is, Barry O'Fool it is, he doesn't understand why Mr. Barry O'Fool and Cardinal Pell are such buddies and so intent on covering up for all the pedophiles that get shifted around from diocese to diocese and get protected. He doesn't understand why these sex pests that molest the children of this country, he doesn't understand why these people let them get away with this. Now he's quite distraught about this, very distraught, along with all the parents of these poor little mites. So he says to you to show some integrity, some morals, if that is possible, and to stop treating the Australian public and insulting their intelligence, because frankly he's had enough of it. Now he's only 2 months old, but he's wise enough to know, don't tell me it's raining and piss down my back. So he just wanted to get that last point made. I think he's made his point quite well, and he expects something to be done about it. He doesn't want no sugar-coated words off these guys in suits, because as you can see, we're here in we're an open book. We're not here in any suits or uniforms. We're just how it is, and we expect you to tell it how it is. And you're dismissed, little man. Yes? Yes? Is there anything else you have to say? What? Anything else you have to say? No, that's it. He's concluded his statement. So yes, you can go away now. That's all right. So we expect, the Australian public expects the government, one, to stop pissing down our backs. We expect some action, especially on the matters that I've just brought up. We're going to post them out to Crime Stoppers and Most Wanted, because I'm sure there are some police officers out there that would like to investigate these matters. He wants to have a tea break. Alright, that is a wrap. I hope we make it to court. Now, sorry about that. I misunderstood him. He said he wanted a tea break, but it was obviously he speaks several different languages, fluent in Mandarin and French, and I mistake that for a cup of tea. But the real problem was setting aside my personal issues that had to be dealt with in the court. There was the comment that he made was that he wanted to remind everybody that the Royal Commission that's coming up into the pedophiles in this country, as everyone knows about, he wanted to let everyone know that, and me personally, that we believe that Royal Commission will be an absolute sham. You know, the church has been going on about with this sort of bullshit and behaviour for thousands of years. You know, it's nothing new. That they're riddled with these sex pests. But what he would like to see, and me and the rest of the public would see, we'd like to see some big scalps taken here. Some of the big players, besides the priests and the school teachers, we'd like to see some of the high flyers and some of the judges and politicians, and you know, really clean the deck with these people who don't really belong to be breathing. They have no right, you know what I mean, touching kids and all that sort of shit. It's an issue with me that grabs hold of me. If I could deal with it in the way I would like to deal with it, I'd probably get myself into a lot of trouble. But we're going to put our faith, the Australian public, going to put our faith in the government of this country, and we're going to sit back. We're going to watch what sort of scalps you do come up with to see if this money, if this Royal Commission, how well it is spent. Because we don't believe that the people that are right up here, we believe that they'll just slip through the net as they usually do. They're a protected species, they always have been. always will be. So we're predicting a scam, and just a complete waste of money. So we'll wait and see how that goes. The other point I'd like to make up that is away from my personal issues is the people that used to own this country before they got stamped for it. People like them and people like me, we've been under the thumb for that long, that we suggest that they start concentrate on their own backyard here in this country before they start wanting to help this person and that person. You know, I mean, we all know about the boats and all that sort of business, you know what I mean? Yeah, that deserves some attention. But you cannot fix everything out there before you fix your own backyard. So that's just the last point that he wanted to make, and I think it's a pretty valid point. So we'll just sit back and watch and see what this government comes up with. And to Mr. Rudd, the word sorry means shit nothing. It is not good enough, sunshine. So if you want to get put into Parliament, you better put your game face on, sunshine. So to all the haters out there that have been offended by this video, we don't give a flying kung fu kick.